Today I'll be showing you how to install the Eternity 5 from UCA. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is take the front of the lock and attach the bolt extenders, just like this. Now a special wrench is included, just to make sure that we get them nice and tight. There we go. Once that's in, take the spindle and the set pin and just feed the set pin in through the spindle. Just make sure you get those lines, there we go, the holes lined up, and then just bend it around to make sure that it can't go anywhere. There we go. So, next step is to put it on the door. I've jumped ahead and installed the actual plunger itself. So, first thing to do is to put the cable above the plunger and slide the lock in. But the first thing to do is to put the weather stripping on the lock. And then slide the power cable above the plunger and then put the lock in place, making sure the weather stripping is all the way around it. Now the next step is to take the back of the lock and the back weather stripping and put them on. Now in order to get the cable to go through, you just have to go through this little hole like that, and there. So now we take bolts and attach the front of the lock to the back of the lock. This first bolt can sometimes be a little bit tricky. Oh, there we go. Just because you have to get all the holes lined up properly. So we'll go ahead and just kind of put that in most of the way, just so everything stays together but still gives us slack to move the lock around if we have to. Then we get the second bolt together. Now before we tighten everything up, we just want to make sure that the weather stripping is sitting properly all the way around it, and then once it is, then we can just tighten these up. And there we go. Now we'll want to take the cable and just plug it in. There we go. Now the next step is to place the batteries in the lock. And you'll notice that it beeped. That just shows that it is getting power. Now we'll just put the back of the lock, making sure that the cable stays clear of anything that it probably shouldn't be touching. Okay, once that is in, you can usually just let go of it and it'll stay in place. But then we take the screws for it. Up. Perfect. Now the final step is just to put on the inside of the lock, inside handle. So basically you just want to give those a little push as you're putting them in, just with your thumb and finger. Usually they just snap on through. There we go. And we have set up an Eternity 5. We have now set up an Eternity 5.